live from New York. All right. Just want to get everybody's attention because we do have a special guest here today. We have two special guests here today, frankly, but the special guest that's here to say a few words to us is a man named Bill Spadea. Bill is involved with a man named John Crowley, and John and Bill are leading an organization to help bring back Republicans to a majority in this state, and we're thrilled about their efforts. Bill did an amazing job as a candidate 4 years ago. 4 years ago in the 12th Congressional District against Congressman Rush Hall. I've seen him a number of times speak, and I've been meeting with Bill the last few months, and I can tell you he's an outstanding person, and we're really thrilled to have him here today.
Is he here tonight?
Yes, he is here tonight.
Right here.
And let me tell you, this crowd, Bill, is some of the best people you'll find in New Jersey. We have a very consistent group of we call the $13 Club lunch meeting.
I've met the collector.
Yes, the collector. He's about getting the money out of our participants.
You got your kneecaps, huh?
He got his PhD in collecting.
He's very good at it.
But let's give Bill a nice round of applause.
So great to be here. Thanks, Scott. Great introduction. I really appreciate it. And Tom, thank you for inviting me. It is great to be here. You know, a couple things. I think it's despite what you hear, we get so beat up over time as Republicans, not only in New Jersey but across the country. But I can tell you, I think it's a great time to be a Republican. You know, if you look back at the last just 4 or 5 weeks, there's no question about it that Barack Obama had peaked during that worst week in Wall Street. And I have to say that if you watched the debate, did you see John McCain's performance at the debate?
Yeah.
He was excellent. Right? On Wednesday, he was excellent. He finally is getting this message down to simplicity, that people are starting to now understand what the Republican difference actually is. And if you were going to pick a time to have surge and peak and get some momentum, this is the time. And I think his performance at the debate, the last time, and then last night, I don't know if any of you saw the Al Smith dinner. Anybody see that? He was terrific, right? He was great. Surge and peak and get some momentum. This is the time. And I think his performance at the debate, the last time, and then last night, I don't know if any of you saw the Al Smith dinner. Anybody see that? He was terrific, right? He was great. Just hit the nail on the head, stole the show, absolutely. Obama's still not comfortable in that kind of an unscripted environment. I thought he did a good job. He's got good speechwriters. But John McCain was natural and positive, and that's the guy we need. Where was that guy a couple weeks ago? You know, if he had to come out, we need him now. This is it. This is the stretch. You've got about 18 days to go. We're on our tear toward the election day, and it's good news for us as Republicans. Now, having said that, I actually wanted to clarify one thing. Did you hear that John McCain said that we've got him right where we want him? Did you hear that line that he used?
I heard that.
Well, you know, he got that line. That was a great line from Chesty Puller, who was a Marine general, the most decorated Marine in history. And when Chesty Puller's Marines were surrounded in Korea, they had enemy on all sides. Chesty Puller said, "We've got them right where we want them. We can shoot in any direction and hit the enemy." So it was, you know, that's sort of the mindset that we've got, certainly in New Jersey, where you feel surrounded all the time by these guys, but it's okay because we've only got up to go from here. But, you know, as important as it is that we elect a president, to borrow a line from Ronald Reagan's friend from across the aisle, Tip O'Neill, all politics is really local. So the reality is, no matter what happens on November 4th, if we elect John McCain president or not, we still wake up on November 5th as New Jerseyans to face the crisis that is this state. So our taxes stay the same, and the environment that is driving tens of thousands of people a quarter out of our state is still there. So we've got a lot of work to do, no matter what happens on the 4th. And that's not to say we shouldn't work hard to get our guy elected president, because I do fear for the future of the country if we elect Obama. I don't know how we'll get through 4 years of an Obama, Pelosi, Barney Frank administration. It's going to be pretty tough. So it is important, but you know what? It all starts here, in this room. It starts in the neighborhood. It starts door to door. It starts in the local community. So I want to just cover a couple things today with you. Well, one, where we are as a state, and I know most of it you've already heard, and it's almost like, where do you start with that topic? The governor just yesterday, and I'm sure, Scott, you're all over the speech he gave yesterday. It's incredible to me for someone with a background in Wall Street and who should have understood business at some level, that he is really with the crowd that I think believes that Franklin Roosevelt didn't do enough government intervention in the 30s. He's got this incredible perspective that it's more borrowing, more spending. You know, it's another $150 million he proposed yesterday, talking about this is the governor's idea of job creation. Instead of letting this entrepreneurial spirit and people actually build their businesses, you know, Joe the plumber has done more to explain what the entrepreneurial spirit is in this country than any of the politicians combined over the past week. And the governor doesn't get that. Many in the legislature don't get that. So the state continues to get worse. And you know, I want to cover a little bit about the state, a little bit about the best vehicle that I think we have for change, which is our Republican Party. And then thirdly, cover a little bit of what John Crowley and I have done with our Building the New Majority and the approach that we're taking to start to solve these problems. But first on the state, again, where do you begin? You know, here we sit with not only a $40 billion budget, but to balance it, they had to borrow $4 billion in the last cycle. And you compare that, if you want to put that in perspective, you compare that to across the river. Now, I work in real estate. I run a division of recruiting and education for Jim Weicker. And I can tell you firsthand, and I travel from state to state, and we've got about 36 states now, and our company is represented in. This is the worst when it comes to people saying, I can't afford to live here, and there's got to be something better. And you know, it starts with that budget. So you think of $40 billion. Well, what does that mean? Well, compare it to Pennsylvania, where the budget's about $32 billion. So you've got $8 billion less being spent in a state that is twice the size in terms of population than our state. And to make it worse, across the river, you think the taxes are higher or lower? I can't tell you how many executives we lose from this state that are willing, even with gas prices the way they are, to drive the extra 50 miles to work to come out here just because they can't afford to live in New Jersey. It's a sad state of economic affairs in New Jersey, and no one seems to have the right ideas to address it, certainly on the Democratic side, and I want to talk about our ideas as Republicans. But when you think about budgeting, part of the problem is that our state is held in this stranglehold by a lot of the different unions out there. And in particular, you've got the teachers union, you've got the state workers union, and time and again they are able to bully the legislature and bully the governor and take us in a course where all of the pensions and the perks stay the same, but the burden has to shift to the taxpayers, and they've got to just keep putting up more and more to get it done. I don't know if you saw the governor took time out of his office. There was a rally at the State House where the state workers had about 10,000 strong. There they were, rah, rah, we got to fight for a fair contract, we got to beat these guys up, we're not going to let them take away our retirement, our pensions. And the governor took time to come out of his office and put his arm around the leaders that were there at the podium and put his hand in the air and said, we are going to fight for that fair contract. And I thought, boy, he didn't read his job description. He's actually management. And he missed something in the translation. So when you've got the governor and you've got the unions that are fighting for something that has nothing to do with the delivery of services in the state, when you look at the teachers union, it has nothing to do with the delivery of education in the state. It all comes down to what's mine. And that's the problem. So when you take the state, and this is not to mention all the future liabilities that we have, billions and billions of dollars in future pension liabilities. There are towns in California that have filed for bankruptcy because they can't keep up with the future liabilities that they've got for their police force, for their firefighters. So it's a crisis that is not only going to affect us today, but down the road, all those folks that are being recruited in, it's quite disingenuous of the Democratic Party and the Democratic majority to bring these folks in, acting like we're just going to have this indefinite supply of money to pay for these pensions and these perks going forward. So clearly something has to be done. Now, what do? Well, we like to look at the Republican Party, and I believe that the Republican Party is the best vehicle for change. But let's talk about that for a minute, because there are a couple things with the Republican Party that all of us at the grassroots neighborhood community level need to start working on.